Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Give me some thumbs up, some love hearts, and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you tap on that subscribe button so I know that you're out there and that this is the kind of content that you really, really want available, sort of thing. So, today I'm going to be talking about IBS and travel. So IBS can be one of those things that when it comes to traveling, it can flare up something horrible. So let's have a chat about it. So IBS and travel, guess what? IBS doesn't care if you're traveling or not. It absolutely doesn't give a crap. Actually, it probably does give a crap. Or maybe it doesn't. Who knows? So when it comes to IBS, it can be very disheartening when it comes to travel. It can be, it can create all these nervous sensations. I actually had one gentleman when I very first started the IBS hypnosis as part of the testing regime where he wouldn't eat for days and days and days if he had to travel to see his family, which was 6 hours away. And he wouldn't eat because he'd have to catch the bus. And then he'd always worry that, he may have an IBS bout or something like that. Or perhaps he'd fart or something like that in the bus and then cause this disruption to the whole journey. So he actually wouldn't eat, he wouldn't drink, he wouldn't do anything. And then by the time he'd get to his location, he was completely exhausted. He didn't have any of those vitamins or minerals in his body. He continued to have pain and stuff like that. And that's because he figured that rather than have something in his body that might come out, he'd rather have nothing in his body that will cause him a couple of days of pain just so that he can see his family. So it's amazing the techniques that people are coming up with just trying to survive when it comes to IBS and their traveling regime. So let me give you a little bit of a rundown before we get started. So since October 2017, we've run over 18 events across Australia and we've trained over 170 people in the IBS hypnosis protocol. We had the AHA approach us for 10 CPD points at our live events, and we've released the IBS hypnosis protocol outside of Australia for those people who'd like to study it online, and we will be in New Zealand in November. So if you want a payment plan for New Zealand, the longer you take the payment plan for, the easier the payments are. So if you want to do that, jump onto our website. The payment plan is all set up and ready to go now. So, breathe, Trish. So we've done Melbourne, Adelaide and Sydney. Perth is like 3.5 weeks away. We only have 4 seats left for that. So if you're coming along to Perth, please jump onto that ASAP. Brisbane has started selling and so has New Zealand. Payment plans can start from as little as $40 and we are selling out. So please jump onto that. Jump onto our website, pellenandpalmer.com. So let's talk about IBS and travel. So when I get a client that has to travel with IBS, sometimes they work themselves up, okay? Maybe they've had a horrible event before and this is something that has sort of triggered them. Perhaps they're just so worried that they activate that central nervous system and then all of the muscles and fibers and nerves and tissues in the gut start firing, miscommunicating and creating all of these burdens inside people. There was one gentleman that I worked with that had this fear of flying, and we shifted the fear of flying, but then he had to use the toilet whilst he was flying. So then he developed this sort of sub-fear that he'd have to use the toilet whilst flying. So shifting all of those beliefs for people and getting them to relax is the key to success. Giving them the resources so that they can actually put them into play so they can help themselves. Oh, I think I'm still asleep this morning. Sorry, guys. So here are some of the things that I recommend to my client. Now, when you're recommending things to your client, also make sure you back it up. There's no point in saying to them, you will do this, and then not backing it up because they're like, well, yeah, I could, but will I? So make sure you back it up with the evidence. So I tell my client to eat lightly before traveling to reduce the swelling and pain in the gut. So I recommend FODMAPs and things like that, and things that are not going to activate them. By the time you've worked with your client for a couple of weeks, and if they choose to travel, you would have found out their food triggers and things like that. So that way we know what to avoid and what to introduce. What is actually soothing the gut for them and what is activating the gut for them. So you'll know which ones are coming in and out. And we teach you all that in the IBS hypnosis protocol. Also, I tell my client to take plenty of water with them. And this is because when they drink lots of water, they stay hydrated, they're less prone to gas coming out, and if they do need to use the toilet, it will be less painful for them. Because many people who suffer from IBS are extremely dehydrated and they don't have enough vitamins and minerals in their body, so they need to drink plenty of water. I tell them also to maintain their deep breathing technique, so 7-11 breathing. And I tell them to maintain that. Keep that deep breathing going and feel that gut soothe as they get onto the plane or as they're traveling and things like that. I also tell them to allow enough time to make stops. There's heaps of people that when they travel, they're like, oh, it'll take 4 hours to get there, blah, 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 blah. Chances are it'll take probably about 5, maybe 5.5 by the time you've actually gone to the toilet, perhaps gotten a drink or had a bit of a break or something like that. So allow plenty of time to make those stops just for that quick breather, that bit of fresh air, that bit of time out. Don't hurry when you're traveling. Sure, you've got to make those stops when it comes to the airport and pick up baggage, or perhaps when you're driving or things like that, but allow that time. There's nothing wrong with allowing an extra hour, leave a little bit earlier or something like that, so you don't hit that peak hour traffic where you might be a bit more stressed out, or you're not driving into the sun, or like here in Mount Gambier, we do have a lot of kangaroos, so you don't want to be driving through the pine forest when it's just hitting dark because there's just too many kangaroos about. So allow that time, okay? Stay relaxed. You can also use maps on your mobile phone to locate amenities. So you just simply go into Google Maps, and I teach my client how to go into Google Maps and type in toilet and then find the amenity that is closest to them. So if for some reason they do get triggered, maybe they ate a piece of cake or something that they shouldn't have, and then they were feeling great, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I gotta go, they can actually go to the closest toilet, and you've given them that resource right there in the palm of their hand. I'll take my client through it whilst they're sitting there, and then I'll say to them, right, now you do it as if I'm not here. I want you to find the closest toilet on that app on the phone. And most importantly, I tell them to focus on enjoying their travels. Focus on enjoying all of those wonderful things that they're going to be doing, feeling, their family, their friends, all that sort of stuff. Oh, I am still asleep. I am still asleep. Wake up, Patricia. So focus on enjoying the travels, because the client only gets what they focus on. And I tell them that. If you focus on your IBS, then it will flare up. However, if you focus on your healthy eating, drinking your water, breathing deeply, you will relax more. Focus on relaxing more, and then allow yourself to enjoy your travels. So give your client a bit of a survival guide per se. I don't give survival guides as in take that extra pair of undies and things like that in case you have an accident, because that's implying then that they will have some type of an accident. So I do have clients that automatically place those spare clothes inside the car, but I don't tell them to carry them around with them or anything like that, because at the end of the day, they will survive. They have these wonderful survival mechanisms inside them, and they need to learn to trust them again. So here are some things I recommend. Give your client a survival guide. It doesn't matter if you do it verbally, whether you print off a little guide of some sort, but give them a survival guide. Take them through Google Maps on their phone and show them how to locate the amenities. Remind them that they will only receive what they focus on. So if they focus on staying relaxed and just enjoying the scenery around them, then that's what they'll receive. And if you have any questions, please ask me. I'm here to help out. Just pop them in the comments and I will get to them as soon as I can. So if you would like to join our IBS live events, please do jump on pellandpalmer.com/events to attend. And I don't think I've had enough coffee this morning. Start again, Patricia. Okay, so if you'd like to join our live event, there's that coffee thing again. Maybe I should take up drinking coffee. pellandpalmer.com/events is where you grab the ticket from. And if you need a payment plan, please let us know. We completely understand. We don't actually charge any extra for the payment plan, so you're completely fine when it comes to that. The sooner you get onto it, the longer you can take it for, so that way you can absolutely attend and we can make it affordable for you, okay? So next time I want to talk about careers that have been destroyed by IBS. I've had those clients come in and tell me those those stories about how they've lost their jobs, how big of an industry it is, and what's going on when it comes to workplace cover and workplace agreements. So please join me next Thursday for that video. And otherwise than that, go and have an awesome day, everybody. I think I need another cup of coffee. All right, guys, have an awesome day.